With Darth Maul believed dead, Darth Sidious chose the former Jedi Count Dooku, who had fallen to the dark side during his exile from public life, as his new apprentice. Darth Tyranus, as he was named, was ordered to begin a secessionist movement within the Republic, fracturing the galaxy and plunging it into war. He obeyed, and over several years his populist movement grew. Resentment against the bureaucratic corruption of the Senate allowed for thousands of worlds to leave the Republic and pledge themselves to the Separatist Confederacy. Sidious, acting as Palpatine, then used the secessionist threat to convince the Senate of granting him emergency powers. In that way, he might pass the Military Creation Act and give the Republic an army to defeat the Separatist threat. The Jedi, unaware that both the Republic and the secessionists were controlled by Sith Lords, took the Separatist threat seriously and made the decision to use the recently discovered clone army of Kamino as Republic forces against Dooku and his droid armada. The Clone Wars, as they became known, dragged on for many years, with clone production slow and Jedi generals limited by the code of their order, unwilling to use mass violence and brutal tactics to achieve victory. The Separatists, in turn, were limited by resources and poorly designed droid soldiers. During these years, Anakin Skywalker developed into one of the most powerful Jedi in the galaxy. He became known as a famous general in the war, with many victories and an unparalleled camaraderie with his men. As a Jedi Knight, Anakin would take on an apprentice of his own in Ahsoka Tano, who also proved strong in the Force. Anakin also grew closer to Chancellor Palpatine, feeling he was the only person he could be honest with, and often turning to him for advice. He also fell in love with Queen Amidala and broke the Jedi Code by marrying her in secret. Despite Anakin's progress in mastering the Force, he was proving a poor Jedi, unable to control his emotions, suffering from night terrors, seeing visions in his dreams of future tragedies and the death of loved ones. He became arrogant in his skill, resentful towards the Council for not making him a master, and even bitter towards his master Obi-Wan for constantly treating him like a Padawan. Chancellor Palpatine took every opportunity to encourage Anakin's independent thinking, seeing in him the potential to be the strongest Force user in the galaxy. Sidious then organized his own kidnapping, manipulating events so that Anakin and Obi-Wan would have to face Count Dooku for his rescue. The Sith Apprentice was powerful and able to defeat Obi-Wan, but was then in turn defeated by Anakin Skywalker and executed at the order of Palpatine. With his Sith Apprentice dead, Palpatine began introducing Anakin to the ways of the dark side, before finally revealing himself as a Sith Lord. Anakin was deeply conflicted, but reported the discovery to Mace Windu, who gathered the Jedi Masters Kit Fisto, Agen Kolar, and Saisi Tin to join him in arresting the Sith Lord Chancellor. But Sidious was also powerful, and was able to kill all the Jedi, save Mace Windu, who engaged him in a long and vicious battle. The Sith Lord used all his strength, but was unable to defeat the Jedi Master, with even his Force lightning being turned against him, scarring his face and draining him of life. Yet just as Mace Windu was about to land the finishing blow, Anakin Skywalker cut off his arm, allowing for Sidious to send Mace Windu flying out a window to his death. Anakin had fallen to the dark side, believing that only with the help of Darth Sidious would he be able to prevent the death of his wife and unborn child. Sidious named Anakin Darth Vader and ordered him to kill the last of the Separatist leadership to bring about an end to the Clone Wars. With the attempt on his life a failure, Sidious was now able to enact the final part of his plans by pronouncing Order 66. This triggered the inhibitor chips in all clone soldiers. Once the order was given, the clones turned against their Jedi generals, murdering them wherever encountered. The Great Jedi Purge killed thousands across the galaxy, effectively destroying the Jedi Order and finally granting the Sith their vengeance against their ancient Jedi enemy. Sidious had Anakin lead the assault against the Jedi Temple on Coruscant personally, killing Jedi Younglings as his initiation into the Sith. Having survived the initial purge, Obi-Wan Kenobi tracked down Anakin and upon seeing his fall to the dark side, set out to destroy his former apprentice. The two battled viciously, but Obi-Wan came out the ultimate victor, cutting off Anakin's legs and an arm, leaving him to burn in the fires of Mustafar. Obi-Wan considered ensuring Anakin's death, but chose to leave his ultimate fate to the Force. As a result, Anakin survived as Darth Vader. With the Separatists and Jedi both defeated, Chancellor Palpatine declared an end to the Republic and pronounced the First Galactic Empire, with himself as Emperor. Darth Vader was rescued from Mustafar and given a machine body to keep him mobile, along with a respirator mask to compensate for his charred lungs. Vader was then ordered to lead the hunt for any remaining Jedi in the galaxy to ensure their complete annihilation. Yet despite the best efforts of the Sith, several Jedi did survive and would go on to play a major role in the organization of an alliance of rebels against the Sith-controlled Empire. Grandmaster Yoda, having sensed betrayal, was able to escape from Kashyyyk with the aid of his Wookiee allies Tarful and Chewbacca. Obi-Wan Kenobi also escaped, as did Padawan Caleb Dume, whose master, Depa Billaba, sacrificed herself so he might get away. Jedi Master Uvel also survived the Purge and sought out an antique dealer named Antron Bak, asking him to secretly preserve as much of Jedi history as possible. Though Uvel survived the initial killings, some believe believe he was eventually found and murdered by the Empire. Master Shaak Ti also survived the initial purge, creating a holocron message, urging others to continue the legacy of the Jedi. This message was later found by Luke Skywalker. Jedi Master Luminara Unduli survived the purge as well, but was arrested by the Empire and held for a time. Eventually, she was executed in her cell, and her body was used as a trap to lure other surviving Jedi to their deaths. And then there was Ahsoka Tano, a powerful former Jedi Padawan who had already left the Order by the time of the Great Purge, and was therefore safe from the initial killings. After the fall of the Order, however, she joined Senator Bail Organa of Alderaan, and over the course of many years organized the creation of the Rebel Alliance, slowly growing their numbers in secret, launching surprise hit-and-run attacks, a constant thorn in the Empire's side. Caleb Doom would also join the Rebel Alliance and assist in many of their early victories against the Empire. Yet with Sith Lords in power, the Rebel Alliance was never able to do much more than harass galactic forces, until the coming of Luke Skywalker and his twin sister, Princess Leia. Though Padme Amidala died soon after learning of Anakin's fall to the dark side, she was able to successfully give birth to twins, naming them Luke and Leia before her passing. The children of Anakin Skywalker both had strong Force sensitivity, and so they were split up for their own safety, with Obi-Wan taking the boy to Tatooine to live with relatives of Anakin's mother, and the girl given to Bail Organa, who would raise her as his daughter and a princess of Alderaan. And so it would be that many years later, an elderly Obi-Wan Kenobi would train Luke Skywalker to become a Jedi Knight, so he might take up the fight against the Empire. Obi-Wan's reemergence from exile caught the attention of Darth Vader, who tracked him down and seemingly killed him. But unknown to Vader and Luke was that Master Qui-Gon Jinn had long ago learned to live on eternally in the Force. After Qui-Gon's supposed death, he had communed with Yoda and Obi-Wan, teaching them what he had learned. And so Luke was then guided by the spirit of Obi-Wan, who led him to the planet of Dagobah to complete his training under Master Yoda. Yoda managed to teach him as much as he could before also passing on to live eternally in the Force. After the perceived death of Yoda, Luke would have to continue on alone, but even so was able to aid in the destruction of both the Empire's Death Star projects, even defeating his father Darth Vader in combat. Yet when Sidious offered him the chance to join the dark side, he refused, tossing down his weapon and preferring to die rather than fall to the darkness. Sidious attacked him with Force lightning, putting so much of himself into the attack he was unable to prevent Darth Vader from betraying him and throwing him down a dark shaft to his death. In doing so, Vader was grievously injured and died moments later, though his final act of redemption allowed him to join Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Qui-Gon as a spirit within the Force. With the most recent Death Star destroyed and the Emperor and Vader dead, the Galactic Empire was severely crippled, though not yet defeated. The surviving leadership of the Empire would abandon many core worlds and retreat into the Outer Rim to consolidate forces and plan their next move. The Rebel Alliance would dissolve in favor of a new Galactic Republic and Galactic Senate, which would fill the power vacuum now left on many worlds. Luke Skywalker, last of the Jedi, was now responsible for the fate of the Jedi Order, yet whether or not he was successful in rebuilding the ancient order remains as yet unknown. A special thanks to all those who have contributed to CivilizationEx. You make these videos possible, and I am eternally grateful for your support. If you would like to help CivilizationEx and want a say in the future content of this channel, click on the Patreon link in the description box below, and pledge any amount you'd like on a monthly basis. Or if you would prefer to make a single donation, you can use the PayPal link also in the description below. And please be sure to like and subscribe, and click on the links to see more.